What's going on, Golden Eagles? Welcome to season 2, believe it or not, of Stay Golden. And today we are talking about teaming up to prepare our future teachers. I'm James Preston, the proud president of Lemoore College. Stay Golden, we share our stories about current and former Golden Eagles, and we spotlight inclusive and innovative excellence. And so I am here today with some primetime educators and future educators.
I said prime time.
Prime time. So to my right, I have Mrs. Turmon, Mrs. T, education faculty, team teach leader. Shannon, welcome.
Thank you, yes.
Good to see you. To my left, I have Alize Sandoval, Golden Eagle alumni and soon to be new teacher.
Yes.
So Alize, welcome back.
Thank you,
It's good to see you. And then the one and only Mr. I, Rob Izquierda, Sierra Pacific High School teacher, innovator, community impactor, podcast creator.
Yes.
The list goes on, Mr. I.
Thank you.
But yes, we're excited to have you here today.
Well, I'm just really
education.
impressed because you said my name like 5 minutes ago, and then just everything's perfect now. The accent kicked in.
I got to get it a couple times.
We call you One Take Preston. That was impressive.
Yeah, we are one take around here, so for good, bad, or indifferent. So good. Well, let's start off with what I called the take flight round. So the first round, just 30 seconds, quick thinking about your Golden Eagle connection. So what's your connection to Lemoore College? What's your Golden Eagle story? When did you first become a student or an employee or a community partner? Shannon, how about you?
Oh, goodness. I've been here now at Golden Eagle for 12 years.
Wow.
I know. So, and in this role for 5, full-time, tenure track, which has been phenomenal. So played quite a few roles throughout here.
That's good.
The
So
time here, yes.
Yeah, and you teach education and guidance studies for us.
I do. So I have multiple subject teaching credential. I taught elementary school prior to coming here, and I was an administrator in K-12. And so, yeah, jumped on in here, just really starting at GED, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, and ended up getting a call from you that same semester saying, hey, want to teach education? And that's how that went down, and I've been doing it ever since and loving it.
And
So
leading Team Teach fearlessly. And we're going to talk about Team Teach in a few moments. Alize, when did you become a Golden Eagle?
I started here in 2021. Yeah, so it was like right after COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, I graduated with my AA in 2023.
Awesome. And then from there, you've gone
to Fresno State. So yeah, and I just graduated last May from there with my bachelor's.
Let's go high five.
Nice.
Yes, very good.
Gold
very
dogs.
good. And you're currently in a credential program.
Yeah, I just started Team Teach. It's all online, but yeah, it's on the Fresno State campus too.
Okay.
But we're just kind of like, it's just all online though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Good.
it.
And plans to teach what grade level?
Hopefully first grade, but right now I'm full-time student teaching with 4th grade.
Okay. Very good. Very
Fun
good.
grade.
And then, Mr. I, we've heard about you.
Yes.
We've heard the legend,
Oh.
the stories. We've
That's a big buildup.
revitalized Stratford, I believe. I mean, we've got all kinds of-
reestablishing
yes.
Stratford.
Yeah, we've done all kinds of stuff. I've heard your name, and then we finally got to meet you officially for the first time at a Teach conference. But your connection to Lemoore College and the Golden Eagles.
I just want to tell that story briefly because it really changed my life. We were at, our academy was presenting, and this was at Koinonia. And I had already spoken to Shannon, oh, you got to meet Mr. Preston. And we'd met in passing. It was very brief, but never had a conversation. And honestly, I don't know if you would know me, recognize me, or I recognize you. And I was praying about this. I really was. And I don't know why I haven't told you this earlier, but I was praying about, man, I really got to connect. Everything that Shannon described about you, how innovative you are, and the things that you've done. I think Team Teach was a Preston baby at some point, right? Is that can I say that?
Might
Preston
be true.
baby?
Yeah.
So anyway, I was praying about it, and then you walked up to the round table. I was there with my academy students. Like, hey, I'm James Preston. Been wanting to meet, and I'm like, I've been looking for you.
That's wild.
And we were in my church.
Yeah.
That's my church, and I prayed about it in that room.
Oh, man. That's a cool story.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you. And so, Shannon, when they said, hey, you're going to be the lead teacher for our education academy at Sierra Pacific, they said, you need to learn the ropes.
Yeah.
So we're going to send you to some places that are doing really cool things. The first place they sent me was the Lemoore Team Teach project, and it was a workshop. Wait, what do we call it?
It was our Teach conference.
Teach conference.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
We had no academy. We just showed up. Me and Rachel Salgado just showed up to observe, and we were blown away.
That's awesome.
And we put you to work.
Yeah,
Made you compete with the students and everything.
And everything. And then I just never left her alone after that.
I love it. So Mr. I is leading that work at Sierra Pacific, developing teacher pathways, and we always like to say golden bears to golden eagles, stay golden.
We love
it's
it.
like a little tagline for us.
The
So
outsiders, right?
it's
Is that
good.
what we're doing here?
Yeah. So
Pony boy.
let's talk about this today. The teaming up for future educators. So, all of us are landed in the career different ways. I know oftentimes the statistic is that 50% of educators know from a young age that's exactly what they want to do. They were born, it was like a calling for them. My wife's a great example of that. She taught for years. She got held back in second grade and decided at that moment, no student ever was going to get held back in the history of education. And so she knew, right when she went to college, there was never a doubt that's what she wanted to do. Went into the field for a number of years. Then she went into fitness and then went back to education, but she just knew. So she was part of the 50% who knew. I had no idea. I was part of the 50% that fall into it. And that's very true in our career. If you talk with people, some people know from a young age, others kind of fall in. I just fell in. I had my bachelor's degree, passed the CBEST, substitute teaching, playing music, have no clue what I want to do with my life. And I ended up teaching English in a credential program, teaching at a high school, and just really, really glad that I made that decision. But really, as we think about the education field, it becomes really important to think about what we call the teacher pipeline. So generating in young people that interest of the possibility of going into teaching. I think for many of us, it's because it sounds a little bit cheesy or cliche, but we go in because we want to make a difference. And we can do that in a lot of different roles in education. So we're going to kind of hear today the different parts of the pipeline. But Shannon, one of our programs that Mr. I talked about, our Team Teach program, is very much has that pipeline. So talk to us a little bit about our Team Teach program here at Lemoore College and what services and support we provide for students who want to become teachers.
Yeah, so Team Teach started out really with a thought process of trying to make sure we had a space for students to be engaged with each other, get updates on what's happening within the education field, and give them supports within our counseling and advising, and just making sure that pathway was clear, and that built in our course sequences through guided pathways. And from there, we really built in a solid program that allowed us to engage beyond our students and within the community. We were able to write a grant a few years ago, and what that's allowed us to do within Team Teach is build the pathway more specifically from high school. We're supporting dual enrollment, and we're working with those dual enrollment high school students more closely so that we're ensuring that they're prepared for teaching at a younger age, and we want to make sure that's where their true passion lies to move forward. Team Teach on our campus allows our students to have a space to get questions answered. We meet with them monthly, give them free food, and make sure that we're just keeping them engaged, bringing in community partners. The Ready program in Hanford, Jennifer Bays comes and speaks to our students all the time. She's phenomenal. Yeah. We love her. And we work very closely with teaching fellows. Natalie Dotson comes in and helps me out quite a bit. Troy will come in and speak to our students. They attend our job fair in the spring, and we have them there to help hire students. They'll interview right there on the spot and hire students so that they can start working in their programs.
Yeah. So
we've really made sure that the whole program within Team Teach is combined within our education degree, so that our students are taking their classes in the mornings so that they can work in the after-school programs, and that we can build that solid community through that pathway. Team Teach, through that process, has led us into that next adventure this year with ITEP, and bringing on Fresno State this fall for our first cohort of students that will be able to receive their bachelor's and their teaching credential with us.
Yeah, so it's been a journey. We have our transfer degree for elementary education, 60 units. From there, typically they transfer to Fresno State, Fresno Pacific, or an online school. But ITEP will be starting in the fall, which is really excited. Integrated Teacher, we're really good at acronyms in education. So Integrated Teacher Education Program, where students will walk out with a bachelor's degree in liberal studies and a multiple subject credential without having to leave the area.
Right. And in 2 years instead of 3.
And in 2 years instead of 3. So a lot of our students complete their associate's degree with every intent to move on, but it's, geography is a barrier, transportation is a barrier, and so to be able to offer that and a couple other Fresno State degree on campus is huge. So pathways and partnerships. So, we really started focusing on our students here and building supports and getting them connected to Ready program and California Teaching Fellows and summertime work at 5C Experience. But we've then started to think under Shannon's leadership a lot about like starting earlier, right? So rather than the students showing up in college and talking to them there in an intro to teaching class or them falling in, pathways with partners. So we've worked with Corcoran High School, we've worked with Carruthers High School, of course, Lemoore High School, and the most recent partnership with Sierra Pacific High School. So Rob, talk to us,
The Golden Connection.
The Golden Connection, Stay Golden. So you said you started by coming and doing some research a couple of
Yes.
years ago at a conference. Talk us through what happened next.
Right after that, that summer we went to something called Moving the Needle, and it's a planning for up-and-coming CTE programs. And we planned out that first year, identified a textbook, and got started with our first cohort of 50 sophomores.
Oh, wow.
And that was this year. So this first year that we just had, we just ended our first year group of sophomores. Next year we'll have sophomores and juniors. And along the way, you kind of figure out like a circuit of experiences that you want to repeat. And Team Teach is like day one. It's there that we want to expose them to this. I think it's, I don't know what statements I can make on the podcast, but I really like what you're doing. And we love to have our students lined up with this place.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Good. And Alice, say we were joking around in our pre-production meeting, like you are the pipeline. So like
I did everything.
all the things we design and think about, if a student did this, and this, then they'd be ready to roll into the workforce. So talk to us about, first of all, when did you know you want to become a teacher?
Mm-hmm.
And then what has your journey looked like from high school to community college to university to a credential program?
Yeah, so I, just like your wife, I got held back in first grade. So I had the same mindset, like no child and like with me is gonna get held back.
Yeah.
So I'm like the exact same. And then in high school is when they brought up, actually it was in middle school. I think they came in and told us about the pathway, the education pathway in high school. And I was just like, I'm gonna do that. As a first gen student too, at home they talk about college, but they don't, we don't have that step by step.
Right.
So it's just like the huge support from like you guys just kind of guides us that way. But yeah, so I did the pathway, and ours starts freshman year. We do the dual enrollment, and it's child development, psychology, and the intro to education with Mr. Foote, and then
Shout out Mr. Foote,
shout
John
out
Foote.
Mr. Foote.
Yep.
I just met him. Right?
Yes, he's awesome.
Yeah, he is awesome. And then we do 2 years, I think, of the intro to education. And yeah, so like that was just like guides us. It helps us a lot. And then as like I said, as a first gen student, like we need that guide because it's like what are we gonna do?
So you come into Lemoore College and you've already completed some college work, and then you get connected. What were some of the benefits of the Team Teach program?
So we actually in high school we have like a meeting with them. So we come out here and like they bring a lot of. They brought up the ITEP program, which for me it was just like I have to drive to Visalia. So now it's like you guys have that in Lemoore. It's so convenient and it's right here. But yeah, so they bring out like they tell us about the 5C program, the teaching fellows, and yeah, I did both of them, which I absolutely loved. And just getting into those programs just helps you get connected like with everybody. Like I get connected with you guys, and also like just kind of learning how to be in the classroom. It helps a lot.
So getting experience along the way, getting the education, but then you have the built-in community support to kind of work together. And I know you've made a lot of friends along the way to kind of get you there.
And it's so crazy because I'm not the only one that says that. Like we're always like, I wish we could just stay at Lemoore College. I wish we could stay at Lemoore College. Like we can just do our whole education here. I have a couple friends that we did all our classes together, even at Fresno State. Yeah. We had our cohort together. And they always say the same thing. They like love Lemoore College.
That's cool. And so you're currently in your credential program.
Yes.
And then you'll be ready to roll into the workforce and teach. You were saying,
August of next year.
Yeah, that's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's good stuff. All right, we talked pathways. Now let's just kind of talk through like teaching in general. So people that are thinking about it. So teaching is ever evolving, ever changing. I think, as we think about teaching and great teachers that we've had in our lives, I always go back to a book called The Passionate Teacher by Robert Fried. And he really talked about the formula for success as being passionate both about your subject matter and about student success. And for me, when I go way back in the time machine and think about great educators that helped form me and shape me and ideas that I have. They truly were excited about their subject matter, but they really cared about their students too. So how we prepare is constantly changing, right? There's a lot going on in the world that's changing. The flexibility of course offerings, how we're using technology, all of that. So I have a few questions. I'm going to give you multiple choice because we're trying to get in the education, role here. So I'm going to give you a choice between three questions. You guys kind of get to pick your journey on this one. So either, if you can answer one of these three, what qualities and skills are critical to be an effective teacher in 2025? Or what's the biggest challenge that teachers or educators face in 2025? Or what words of wisdom do you have for the next generation of educators? So what qualities and skills are important, or what's the biggest challenge, or words of wisdom? Who wants to go first?
Well, one popped in my head as you said the last one, words of wisdom.
Yes.
And this was something that hit me really fast because I was in the hallway at the conference with the Tulare County Office of Education. They have something similar to, actually, Shannon, I think you do a workshop there, right?
Yeah,
what is theirs
it's the
called?
Make a Difference conference.
Make a
It's called their
Difference.
MAD conference.
So I was there. I've gone twice, but last year I was in the hallway, and their guest speaker, there was a mix-up, and so they said, "Can you come out and share?" And so in that moment, I had something like this, and I wrote down 3 things. And the one that jumped on my page first about what's important is understanding relationships and what role they play. And I always go back to the same quote. Oh, you're right here, so I can tell you, right? Because you're coming up on this, right? They don't care. They don't care what you know until they know that you care. And so to me, the words of wisdom are, don't get caught up in, like you said, understand your curriculum, be passionate about it, but don't get caught up in coaching terms, the X's and O's or the having the perfect lesson plan, and neglect that very first step, which is just showing them you care. In our classroom, we spend about the first month on just team building and connecting with them to understand that I love you guys. I care about you. We're going to build a family in this room. And I even had a parent this year, and when we did this, reach out to me like, hey, you guys going to get into the textbook at some time? Right? Not quite understanding what I was doing.
The approach, what you're trying to establish.
What I would fix next year is probably give the parents a heads up. Like, no homework again? What are you guys doing in there? Right? But I would. That's my words of wisdom. Work on the relationship and the team building first. That's, to me, is the foundation.
That's absolutely critical. Yeah, I would say that's a mic drop. You can't really drop a mic on a stand. So, but that's.
I wouldn't want to drop. These are so fancy. I'm having mic envy, right? So you said we have a podcast.
That was a wow, Rob.
These
that
are
was a
beautiful.
words of wisdom wow right there. So that was good. Let's say for you, I guess we could go words of wisdom for students that are coming up. Or what do you think the biggest challenges you'll face? Or what do you think some skills you're working on so you know you can be effective?
Yeah, some words of wisdom. I would say just don't be scared to ask for support. I know it's kind of like, oh my gosh, I don't know what this is. I mean, I didn't even know what a credential program was when I was in school. I was like, what are you talking about? I have to do one more year. So just don't ask. Don't ask. Don't be scared to ask for support. And I mean, I can always go back to you guys for support. I don't always I'll message her and ask her. So yeah, don't be scared. And just remember your why, why you're doing this. And don't get into, if you do the 5C program or the the
Teaching fellows?
Teaching fellows, just get in there so you can just be prepared and get that experience.
I love that. So ask questions, seek out support. You said, remember your why. So for you, what is your why?
So my why is just being that, being that impact for that student. We kind of always think about a teacher that impacted us. So my why is just, being supportive for I feel like a student can't be successful unless you're very supportive for that student.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's good. Those two connect really strong. Those words of wisdom. Shannon, qualities or skills need to be effective or some of the challenges that teachers face?
Sure, I think those kind of go hand in hand, right? So I think in this day and age, technology is just growing so rapidly that we can't keep up as teachers. So just knowing what is out there and being prepared for how to utilize certain technology as a resource and not as something that's negative.
Right.
So how do we use these tools and tricks to build in critical thinking in the classroom so that we're ensuring students are still learning and growing
Right.
And so I think that that's a challenge as well as something that can be exciting. And then I tell all of my future teachers, number one, take care of yourself. You need to be able
That's great
to
advice.
be ready to go in every day and handle our whatever our classroom throws at us every day. So what is
Yeah.
that going to look like? We don't know. So if we're healthy and ready to go in the door, then we can check our emotions at the door because we have to go in and look at 25 faces that need us. So being prepared for that's important.
Yeah, we talk about that a lot in our intro to teaching class, just the professionalism and how hard it is. You really have to draw a line the second that you walk in that door so you can be the best version of yourself for your students. But, I guess the question I have for all of you is, I agree with you 100%. Like, how do we take care? We don't talk a lot about mental health. And I think the more that we talk about it, the more that we destigmatize it. We talk all the time about physical health and other things. But to keep ourselves healthy mentally, what are some of the things all of you do to take care of yourself? Like, what are
Sure.
just quick ones? Yeah.
Yeah, 10 years ago when I started this job, it was running.
Yeah.
I would run all the time. And then after middle age, I don't do that so much anymore. And now it's gardening.
Yeah,
So
good.
you have to find an outlet of some sort.
So that's your peaceful place.
You
Yes.
raised? Didn't you have chickens?
I do have
You
chickens
got
now.
chickens
Oh my
too.
gosh.
Yeah, she has chickens.
I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, Rob, for you, what do you do to kind of take care of yourself?
Well, I talked about this literally with a friend yesterday, that when you view yourself as kind of like the best comparison I would say was like, not the septic tank. What's the tank with the barbecue, the grill? Propane. Sorry, septic's the whole
ding,
thing.
propane, yeah.
So propane tank, right? And with a propane tank, if you fill it too much, at some point it explodes, right? And so how do you address that? Is you slowly release air at a time.
Right.
And I kind of view myself and all of us as propane tanks, accepting from different places things that are filling us, and sometimes we have to slowly release or we're going to combust. And so that release comes like, or maybe calling Shannon, I can't believe that this happened, and how do we do this? And I've actually called her like that. And having these different support systems that I can be very just vulnerable
Right.
and transparent. Those
Yeah.
are the two, because that's especially for, I think men have a big problem, that transparency and that vulnerability. And so I'm always connecting to people that I can release
Yeah.
some of what I'm going through,
I love that.
and then I don't carry it.
Yeah.
So it's not like a lack of problems, but just being able to manage them.
That's an incredible analogy. Yeah, and just the importance of conversation, right? Of just talking and processing, and like you said, being vulnerable. Yeah. Let's say for you.
I agree with that. Talking with other people and just
Yeah.
kind of like relating, especially like other teachers, because we
Yeah.
all go through the same thing.
Yeah.
And then I'm always at the gym. I'm like after school, I'm like, okay, I need to release everything at the gym. But yeah, those two things.
Yeah.
I love that.
No, that's good. I know I was super fortunate my first year teaching, because your first year teaching is incredibly, I just want to tell you, it's incredibly difficult,
Yes.
super challenging, and there's phases that you'll go through. You'll be disillusioned, you'll be not quite sure why you're doing it, but it will eventually turn into reflection and
Yes.
rejuvenation.
And that's why you remember your why, and
You
you,
remember
just
your
talk
why,
to your
yeah, and then the second year, it's like you
teachers.
get to reset, which is
Yes.
what's really cool about the teaching career. But yeah, that first year, I was so fortunate. I was out of Mendota High School. I taught there for my first 4 years of my career, and I was in a carpool with two other first-year teachers, so 45 minutes each way each day. And so on the way in, we talk about like what we were going to do that day and what we're going to try and what was working. And then on the way home, we talk about what failed and then how we're going to figure that out and what situations. But it was like a rolling therapy session, like both ways. But it was like they call it PLC, like professional learning community. But ours was like a rolling one each day. And but it was great to have those individuals. So shout out Garen Knighty and Jody Rubel, because they were my OGs in the ride to Mendota High School. Good. All right. So the landing round, we'll get to the end, just to kind of land this episode. So 2030 vision, thinking forward for yourselves or for your programs. Where do you see yourself in 2030, or where do you see your program in 2030? Shannon, you want to go for
Sure.
that first, Mrs. T?
So within building our dual enrollment pathways the last couple of years, I'd like to make sure that we continue to bring on new high schools and supporting their pathway early on as well. So expanding there. this last year we had almost 200 in attendance for our conference, largest
Oh,
we've
that's
ever had.
awesome.
We
Wow.
outgrew the conference center.
Yeah.
So 2030, let's have 400 in
Let's
the
go.
arena.
In the
Let's
arena.
go.
I
Yes.
love that. I love that.
So-
2030 in the arena. You got it now.
Yes.
Teach 2030, Golden Eagle Arena.
Yes.
Sometime
Nice.
in October, November of that year?
November, yes.
Okay.
You know, I started in nonprofit work about 10 years ago, and I was told, like on day one, if you're going to build something that doesn't exist after you stop and you're gone, then that's a fail. And so you want to build something that's going to continue long after you're gone.
Yeah.
And so that's what they've done with our academy at our school. It's really set up for someone passionate to come in and keep it going. So we're our sophomore class now. We're going to graduate that class in 2 years. And so in 2030, we'll be in our third or fourth group of seniors who have graduated and gone on to programs like Team Teach.
Yeah.
That's what we envision for us.
I love it. I love it. I'll say for you, 2030?
Yeah, hopefully I'm teaching and have my first grade class. And yeah, we'll see.
And you'll be rolling.
Yeah.
And you'll be rolling. That's good. All right. Well, that's a wrap. Not a RAP, but a WRAP. But I can. I don't know if you know, but I can. But not today.
I did witness We Are LC.
Oh, we did do a We Are LC. We did a little Kendrick.
And
we did a little Kendrick
well,
remix.
Now I can't listen to that song without hearing you.
I love that.
I was at the Brother to Brother Summit.
Oh yeah.
And I was going to ask you, but you already said it. I was like, I think he was a performer at some point.
Yeah.
Because he just looked real comfortable, and he had the whole crowd, and my sons were there, and he was like, "Let's go, We Are LC." And I was like, this guy's, he's been on stage
Well,
before.
so
I don't know
that
where.
I would call it. So I'm an English teacher by trade. Back in the day, I would say that was Eagle Days was like our rough draft of that. So we did it with
okay.
our high school seniors. Graduation, like we went and like it was fantastic.
fun.
We had the whole class was up and we did the whole We Are LC. But
Did
they
you?
were all in though, like 6:30 at night, ready to celebrate.
Well, I heard you were
and it
coming
was
in on
good.
helicopters.
I
and-
did come in on a helicopter. That was
I
kinda-
love this. I
that
love
was
it.
that was a bucket list. Yeah, thank you to Kings County Sheriff's Office for that one on our first responder day. It's
Oh,
been
you know what
quite
I
a year.
thought? Do you
It's been
guys?
quite a year.
Oh, it's indoors though, right?
Yeah.
Because I was thinking
graduation's
flyover.
A little
Right.
flyover, yeah.
Right.
I know. Someone told me we should be doing drones because they were at the different Hanford High graduations.
Oh yes,
and
our
Southern
graduation
Pacific
is a
and-
full-on drone show.
Yeah,
I'll
which I
send you
love.
that.
So we got to work on it, but yeah, good. All right. Well, thank you everybody. Yeah, so no raps today, but I love that we are LC and we did remix Kendrick, and we're definitely gonna
That's awesome.
keep that going. Yeah, we'll keep that going. I'm glad that we rewrote that song for you. That's good in your head. So thank you all for coming on today, Shannon. Great job, Mrs. T. Congratulations. Excited to see you in the
Long high
classroom.
five.
Mr. I, it's good. So we will be back soon with our next episode. But a shout out to our team that's here today. So we've got Devin Cardenas, who's behind the camera. We've got Alexis Andrade, who's behind the camera. And we have Antonio Tony, who's in the booth, our marketing assistant. So until next time, stay strong and stay golden.